Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to day 4 of our Reader's Workshop lesson. You guys have been doing such a good job reading this text with us. I've been so excited to read all these questions you guys have been asking and answering, and it's been so fun learning about all these different animals. And so today we're going to do a different lesson. We're going to be talking about how to find the main idea of a page. And I know in the past we've been talking about how do we find a main idea in a text. But now we're just going to look at what's the main idea in one page. And the reason why readers want to find out the main idea is because it helps us understand what the text is about. And so our objective today is readers are going to identify the main idea by noticing what repeats in order to know what the text is about. And so us teachers are going to model that on this page of the text, and then we're going to read a different page for you to try it on your own. And I know this is kind of a lot of work that we're asking you to do, but we've been talking about main idea for a couple of weeks now, and we're hoping that you're using all that prior knowledge to help you really understand how to do this activity. So we're going to read this text, and as we read, we're going to look and see what repeats. And here are the strategies we like to use when we're trying to find the main idea. Our first step is notice what repeats. So something that repeats is when a word or a phrase shows up in the text more than once. So as we're reading, just pay attention. If you hear a word pop up a lot of times, that's going to give you a hint as to, ooh, I think that's what this text is mostly about. Then we're going to find those key details or those sentences that have those repeated words, and we're going to write them right in our seesaw right here where it says detail 1, detail 2, and detail 3, because that's going to help us keep track of, okay, these are all the details that support the repeated phrase, and it's going to help me find out what the big idea or the main idea of the text is. And when we ask ourselves what the big idea is, we have a lot of things that can give us clues. We can look at the title of the book, we could look at the heading, which I'll point out later, or we can look at the first sentence as well. These are some things that authors like to put in there to help you as a reader really understand what's going on. So as we read, we're going to do the first step. We're going to just listen as I read it to what repeats. What words or phrases do you hear a lot that pop up as I'm reading? So teachers, you're going to help me with that as I read the text. Same thing, just think about what words or phrases are repeated a lot. And then we're going to talk about it and figure out, how does that help me find out the main idea? Here we go. Why do they travel? And this is what we call a heading. It's like a little mini title of the page is usually what we call the heading. It's a text feature that helps you understand what this text is going to be about, which is a hint. Why do they travel? Many animals migrate. To migrate is to move from one area to another and then back again. Some animals migrate to warm places to get away from cold winters. Other animals migrate to lay eggs or have babies in other parts of the world. Migrating animals do not take ships or planes. They use their own energy or strength to travel. They find their way without maps. Sea turtles, some whales, and many kinds of birds migrate. So that was our main text, and I'm going to read the text feature here. Humpback whales migrate from cold oceans to warm oceans where their calves are born. The babies nurse from their mothers and then swim back with them to the cold oceans where whales can find food. The mothers teach their calves the way home. The Arctic tern migrates farther than any other animal. Each year, terns make 2 long journeys. They fly from the North Pole to the South Pole and back again. Tern mothers lay eggs in the Arctic, near the North Pole. After the chicks hatch, they migrate with their parents as soon as they have learned how to feed themselves. The parents teach them where to fly and how to catch fish along the way. Wow, I love how you're paying attention. Don't forget to look at the pictures and the labels to see if that adds to any of our understanding. And we're still looking for, what word is Miss T reading over and over again? Elephants eat huge amounts of grasses, bushes, and other plants to give their big bodies energy. They need to migrate to find enough food and water. An elephant family is led by its oldest and largest mother. She knows where to find food and water and leads the others there. Elephant calves need their mothers, as well as the other elephant mothers in the herd. to care for them, and to teach them how to find food and water. Wow, that was a lot of information. So of course you can pause the video and reread it, and I'll put the link to the epic book that we're reading from so you can always reread it to yourself as well. But teachers and boys and girls at home, did you notice anything that was repeated a lot? It could be a word or a phrase or an idea that was repeated a lot of times. Miss Akimowicz?
I noticed that there's a lot of flying above, so I didn't want that to interfere. I noticed that the word migrate is repeating a lot. So I would say, and I don't know if I'm supposed to give a sentence already, but I already have one in my head.
Ooh, I would love a sentence.
Okay. I was thinking maybe the main idea could be a lot of animals migrate or move from place to place.
Move from place to place. Thank you. And I'll put that as an idea because we're going to go back to talking about the main idea later. But I love how Miss Akimowicz was talking about the word that was repeated a lot, which is migrate. And as we were saying in our next step, now that we notice what repeats, we're going to go and see what are the key words or the key details that have that word that can support our thinking. Because Miss Akimowicz already came up with the main idea here. Let's find the details that really support that thinking. And so teachers, did you see a sentence or an idea that could help us write a key detail sentence using the word migrate? Ms. Rosales?
So I'm going to say that on the first page 16, they start saying reasons as to why they migrate. And you start with that second line, first full sentence where it says some animals. It says some animals migrate to warm places to get away from cold winters. So that is a form of adaptation. They move from one place to the other to accommodate their body to that new place.
And I love that you use the word reasons because this makes a connection to me when I'm thinking about when someone's sharing an opinion, they list their reasons to support their opinion. And we're kind of doing the same thing. We're listing our main idea and we're finding the details that support that main idea. And if our main idea is migrate, then let's look and see what are the key details. And I think Ms. Rosales came up with a really good one. They're giving us reasons why these animals are migrating. And one reason why, let's add the detail sentence here. Ms. Rosales, can you use it in your own words?
Animals might migrate to, I want to say, move to warmer or colder climates.
And I love
climates is not the best word. Should I say places?
Environments?
Thank you, Ms. Akimowicz.
I love it. So animals might migrate to move to warmer or colder environments. And I love how it said it could be warmer or colder because some animals need warmer places to live and some animals need colder places to live. I love that. And I feel like that really connects to the main idea of a lot of animals migrate or move to place. So again, our details should match our main idea because the details support the fact that that's the main idea. So let's go back in the text and look at, is there another sentence or a key detail that supports the idea of migrating? Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, I'm looking at the text feature next to the whales. And in the middle part, it says the babies nurse from their mothers and then swim back with them to the cold oceans where whales can find food. So there's movement in looking for food there. And I also see something next to the elephant picture. And it's in the fourth sentence, fourth line, I'm sorry. They need to migrate to find enough food and water as well. So it sounds like animals are migrating to find food and water.
Ooh, I love that you're paraphrase there. Animals move
to find food and water. To survive, we can even add.
Ooh, I love we're using our key words here. And again, let's double check, does this detail support the main idea? So animals move to find food and water to survive. With our main idea is a lot of animals migrate or move from place to place. Yes, it does support telling us why animals are moving. Let's go back in the text for our last detail to support our main idea. Any other sentences that had that repeated phrase? Ms. Kimowich?
On page 16 in the larger text, on line 1, 2, 3, 4, it gives another reason, adding on to Ms. Rosales and Ms. Hernandez's thinking. It says other animals migrate to lay eggs or have babies in other parts of the world. So, and we see that in the humpback whales and the terns. So I guess a sentence could be animals migrate to have babies in other parts of the world.
Love it. And I love that our teachers are using their own words to support their thinking. And so, boys and girls, what we just did for you right now was we first read the text and we noticed what repeats. And it could be one word or it could be a phrase. In this example, we saw that the word that was repeated a lot was migrate. And then we went to find the sentences that had that word or an example of how animals migrate. And then we asked ourselves, what is the big idea, right? And so Ms. Himowich kind of did that for us because she's an expert at finding the main idea, which is great. Sometimes the cool thing about reading is we might find the main idea first, or we might find it afterwards. It doesn't really matter the order when you find it, but we just need to be able to support our thinking. And so when we ask ourselves, what is the big idea, we can use the repeated phrases, or we can use the title of the book, the heading, or the first sentence. And I just wanted to show you really quickly, if we look at the heading over here, why do they travel? That also adds to our main idea. Why are they migrating, right? So that heading really helped us with the main idea already. And if we looked at the first sentence, it tells us many animals migrate. Again, supporting our thinking of that's the main idea. So I love that our authors are so creative in finding such cool ways for us to identify the main idea. And so now it's your turn. I'm going to turn to the next page and I'm going to ask you to do the exact same thing, but this time Ms. T and the teachers are not going to give you any hints. I'm just going to remind you of the strategies we use to find the main idea. And all I'm going to do is read the text and again remind you to notice what repeats, find the key details that have those repeated words, and then ask yourself, what is the big or main idea? So here we go. How do they survive? Baby animals need to know how to survive so that predators will not eat them. Some animals keep their babies safe in pouches on their bodies. Some hide their babies in dens or homes. Other parents teach their babies to be on guard for predators. Baby animals must learn how to protect themselves from danger. So I'm going to read the text feature here with the cougar. This cougar mother is taking her cub to a new den to protect it from predators. Meerkats live in groups called clans. A few animals in each clan stand guard while the others play or look for food. If the guards see a predator, they warn the others with a loud bark. The others then run and hide in their underground homes. These babies are learning how to be guards. Over here with the penguin. This emperor penguin father keeps his chick warm and safe in a brood pouch between his feet. The chick's mother has traveled far to find food. When the mother returns, she will feed her chick food that she brings up from her stomach. Ooh. The chick's father then leaves to find food. The parents take turns feeding the chick and keeping it safe. This baby seahorse, oh, look at that little baby seahorse, stays safe because other animals cannot see it in its ocean home. Its body blends in with the coral around it. Ooh, I know that word we can use to substitute. Teachers, are you thinking of the word I'm thinking of? What word do you think I'm thinking of?
Camouflage.
Nice. Yes, its body blends in with or camouflages in with the coral around it. Coral are ocean animals. Find the seahorse below. Ooh, have fun finding that seahorse. This bear cub does not yet know why it should stay away from skunks. How will it learn? Do you think it will go near a skunk again? No. There's a lot of exciting information in this text. So I want to remind you readers, you're going to get your own seesaw assignment and it's going to be all blank here. You're going to find your details, 3 details, and also the main idea. And how do we find the main idea? We again notice what repeats, find the key sentences that have that repeated phrase, then ask yourself, what's the big idea? And you can use the title to help you, the heading, or the first sentence maybe. So we're so excited to see how you're going to use that skill today to find the main idea in the reading here. And we will see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe.